Today we're going to be learning about hearing impairments. I know a student who is a 21-year-old woman with cerebral palsy and is deaf. Her family does not know sign language. She loves public school, her interpreter, and all of her friends, but her life at home is a different story. She grew up in a home where her family couldn't fully understand and communicate with her, so she lived her life loving school, her teachers, and interpreters more than anything, and cherishing all the friendships she made along the way. It is well known that there are schools for students with hearing impairments, but the integration of deaf children in primary schools is the focus of this presentation. This integration is becoming common and has many supporters. In a study taken by the University of Social Welfare and Rehabilitation, they recorded the competence of 60 students who are deaf in a Tarian primary school. The results were clear. The students felt comfortable with their performance even in a hearing school. Now we ask the question, how do students with hearing impairments adapt to learning in a hearing classroom? There's many of different strategies to aid students who are deaf, but most are assistive technology. First and foremost, these are hearing aids, which most people are familiar with. They are small electronic devices that can be highly customized to address so many different types of hearing loss. And then as you can see here, it's where that goes into the ear, and then this will wrap around the outside of the ear. All digital hearing aids contain at least one microphone to pick up sound, a computer chip that amplifies and processes sound, and a speaker that sends a signal to your ear. Augmentative communication is the next one. Augmentative communication is an alternative way to help students with language disorders or hearing impairments use expressive language. Augmentative communication can be accomplished through any technological device, but are mostly used in iPad applications that you can see here. These apps are easy to use, provide text-to-speech voices, up-to-date symbols, automatic conjugations, a default vocabulary, and are fully expandable. The app is very easy for individuals with special needs to navigate through the menus. Next, we have a cochlear implant, which is a small electronic device that electrically stimulates the nerve of hearing. The implant has external and internal parts. The external part sits behind the ear, as you can see, and it picks up sounds with a microphone. It then processes the sound and transmits it into the internal part of the implant. So this is more closely what it would look like for a cochlear implant in the ear. So here are like the internal parts. There's the internal implant. As you can see, technology benefits students in so many ways, including allowing them to hear. Assistive technology helps bypass, work around, or compensate for any individual's specific learning challenges in the classroom, including hearing impairments. Another extremely important component of integrated classrooms is interpreters. They also carry out the form of non-technological assistive communication. It's a very important component to integrated classrooms. They interpret verbal communication from English to American Sign Language and act as mediums where a language barrier could exist. I have learned so much about this disability while doing this presentation. One of those things that hearing impaired students may have difficulty with impulse control, organization, and planning, and maintaining attention. All of these are closely linked with the student's capacity for language and communication. My friend grew up in a hearing family. She was the only one who was deaf. Is that common? The answer is yes. 9 out of 10 deaf children are born to hearing parents. As for deaf parents, the odds are then 1 to 10. When I'm teaching someone who has a hearing impairment, to create effective teaching, I will utilize the use of visual learning and make all my documents accessible to them to follow along with on their own individual devices. I also want to be sure any student who is deaf is familiar with certain signs or online applications to communicate important phrases. I also want to personalize each of their experiences and have common check-ins to see how they are progressing. It is important for schools to accommodate integrated learning, and these students with hearing impairments experiences in school are very important. As we can see from my friend, school is her place to be heard and establish relationships.